Minority Affairs, SDN, OPC, Government of Manipur, and also guest of honor, Dr. Arambam Noni, Associate Professor, Department of Tropical Science, Yale University, and all the special guests, well-wishers and family members. I extend my warm welcome and our heartfelt thanks and appreciation for your coming. Because of your presence, today's event is made complete. I would like to tell a little bit about the school, as some of us are here for the first time. The school was established in the year 2004 by Dr. Charles Raman and his Mrs. Andi Angam with a vision, with a burden to serve the poor and the needy. And so it was just started with just 50 students and 5 sincere teachers. Then slowly the school is upgraded. It was just up till class 5, it was upgraded year by year, and finally now we have students of 682 students, 45 teachers, and then now we have high school, higher secondary, and now we have in the college. So with this, we also have 32 families supporting this institution, and 82 people are employed at given salary. And it has become self-sustaining. And our main Nidhi Hope Academy is suggestive that it is being sponsored by some NGO. So people often ask me, which NGO supports your institution? But we don't have such support from any NGO. Rather, we are sponsoring missionaries in Thailand. It is all work of faith. Faith in God, God's providence to serve the people, to serve our land. And then we have all the communities in our school, in our college and school, both staff and students. This community is still intact in spite of the prevailing situation in our country. The very Spirit of Christ holds us together. So we are thankful and grateful to God, and we, however little it may be, our school is, or our institutions, college and school, we are striving to bring peace and healing in our land. We believe even a small thing will make a difference. So, I recall at one point of time, this is the position all the communities here was being noticed by the Times of India. It happened that one of the journalists happened to come here for one program, and he discovered the composition. And it was published in the Times of India. Very soon I received a call from the BBC News, and then some local paper also. And I had to just I had to decline that also because we don't want to get disturbed by this existing coexistence. So like that, God has kept us thus far, and the school will continue to contribute for the peace and healing of our land. And the students and the people, all of us present be a driving force to against the forces that tears apart the fabric of our society. And with God's help, we will be able to do it. And our children will be an instrument. Our children will make a difference after they have passed out from this place, wherever they are placed, whether it is in a big office or small office, in whichever field they are called, someday they will be given the same spirit that we had here in our school. And they will make a difference wherever they are found. So, we are today so encouraged by your visit, by our chief guests of honor, our well-wishers, and dignitaries here. You have been supporting us. Do continue to support us. We are doing our best. We will continue to do it. So thank you.
While Whitney Home Academy and Social Christian College may cater to different stages of learning, but together they form one institution and one family. And we are blessed to have a faculty where the teachers go above and beyond in order to guide and shape the students. Now we will have a time of introduction and presentation.
Thank you. I would like to briefly introduce our esteemed guests. As I mentioned the name, I request our special guest, our esteemed guest, to stand on your feet, and I request to hand over the gifts. First, I'd like to begin with our chief guest, Sri Armstrong Pamay, IAS Commissioner, Minority Affairs, ST and OBC. So I'd like to request you to come on the stage. Thank you so much. And next we have our guest of honor, Dr. Aramba Nomi, Associate Professor, Department of Political Science, Yale University. Next we have Dr. Lily Pami, wife of our esteemed chief guest. We are also delighted to share that ma'am has recently conferred a doctorate degree in English literature. In recognition of this remarkable academic achievement, our uncle would like to felicitate. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next we have Dr. Loko Buni. Dr. Loko Buni, retired IRS and also an ex-member of Manipur Public Commission, MPSC. A personality very close to the Home family. Thank you so much. Next we have Dr. Juan Kimi Balu, Associate Professor, Department of Education, DM University. Uncle, our chairman, Uncle Charles. Next, we have Dr. Divan Prajas Patimayu. Dr. Divan Prajas Patimayu. Okay. We also have Mrs. R.K. Vijayalakshmi, Secretary, Yelhomi, Peru. Yelhomi, Peru is a Manipur-based indigenous civil society organization that works primarily on indigenous identity, cultural preservation, peace building, and public advocacy. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presence. We also have Sri D.S. Panmay, Secretary in Naga, Forum. Sri D.S. Panmay, Secretary in Naga, Forum. He is also one of the Joint Tribes Council Coordinating Committee Executive Member and a good friend of our uncle, of our chairman. Thank you. Next we have Reverend Nimlay Kamra, local pastor, Mapao Zikun Baptist Church. Reverend Nimlay Kamra, local pastor, Mapao Zikun Baptist Church. We also have Sri Jaswant Kumar, Assistant Commander 152 CRPF. Okay, alright. We also have Sri Livingston Zimik, Secretary Mapao Zikun Village Party, retired DSP Manipur Police. Sri Livingston Zimik, Secretary Mapao Zikun Village Authority, retired DSP Manipur Police. Thank you, sir. We also have Sri Livingston Balui, Senior Executive Engineer PWD. We also have Sri Livingston Balui, Senior Executive Engineer PWD, retired. Thank you so much, Uncle, for your presence. Last but not least, I'd also like to acknowledge our media house, our media cell. We will first go with Impact Media House, followed by Sanal. We are very privileged to have them with us today. Thank you so much for your presence. We also have Sanal. In a century, a place where media plays a very important role, we will bring change to our society. Thank you so much.
Now, we will have a presentation of some of our performances by our students. Today marks the culmination of this year's Art and Literary Week. While yesterday we had the privilege of witnessing an array of exceptional performances from our students. The competition was fierce, but since it was a competition, the judges selected the winners based on the established criteria. So today we are delighted to showcase these winning performances while recognizing and celebrating the efforts of every student who participated. First up, we have a poem recitation from Guy Zenlu Marimbe, a second semester student from English Department of Socia Christian College. She will be reciting us a poem written by Sir Tensham Sasa titled Until the Bus Disappears. This poem is based on a true story inspired by the life of Mr. Sore Rama, the founder of Socia Christian College. It portrays a significant episode from his early life. As a young man, he aspired to become a police officer, but in obedience to his father's wishes, he gave up that dream. Instead, he chose the teaching profession. a decision that ultimately shaped his life's mission and led to the founding of Socia Christian College. This poem reflects that defining moment of obedience, sacrifice, and purpose, reminding us that God's greater plans often unfold through the paths we never intended to take.
Respected chief guests of honor, and to all the dignitaries present here, I would like to recite a poem. I would like to recite a poem titled Until the Bus Disappeared. 1973 was the year I went forth into the teaching profession, far flung in Fitzgerald. Morning mist running across terrace field, a vantage point of London. A frosty corner adorned with cherry blossom. I thought resumed lessons I had learned from my godly sire. In return, I received love and respect from those lovely rustic innocents. Then came the winter vacation. I packed my belongings, homeward bound. Among the crowd that bade farewell, a boy of class 5 lived near me wrong. His name was Zeko. Gladly he offered to carry my luggage. Together we walked 10 long kilometers on foot until we reached the bus station. At last, the waiting was over. I found my seat by the window. Zeko stood by as the engine started, waving his hand, his eyes fixed upon me, until the bus disappeared around the winding road. Neither of us knew that it would be our last farewell. When the winter vacation ended, I returned to the village. Terrace fields still sleeps in white. The frost melts into silver streams. Cherry blossom fade, yet cosmos sprout. I asked about the boy whose face still lingered fresh within my memory. Then came the heart-breaking news. The boy, oh, the boy is no more. He had stepped into eternity. It all began with a petty hurt to his little finger. Received one wrestling during the village in fear. Fan and pale grew my heart. Never shall I forget that lovely rustic boy. Often I ask myself till today, have I done enough for the boy? Life is a shadow, a breath that soon flies. Tomorrow unknown, hidden from our eyes. So number your days, walk wisely and true. Remember your Creator, what strength is with you, that when the earthly profession is over, you may spend eternity with Him. By Sir Tanchang Sasa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have a Bible memory verse recitation from Amos Pame from class KG2. This will be followed by storytelling from Sampan Raman.
Hello everyone, my name is Amos Pamay of class KG2 from Willow House. Now I'm going to recite a memory verse from 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 37. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 37. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things which are mighty. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have Sampan Raman, a student of class 1 for storytelling.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Irfan from class 1. Today I'm going to tell you a story. The title of my story is My First Speech. I was very sad. I never liked speaking in front of people. One day my teacher said he will give a small speech tomorrow. I was scared. My hands shook. Then I stood in front of the school. So I looked at my friends, took a deep breath and spoke. Everyone clapped when I finished. My teacher smiled. You did it, he said. I learned something important that day. Even if something feels like you can do it, if you try. Now I am not so afraid to speak. I found courage inside me. Thank you.
A student from class 7, Okami Owushi, will present to us a symposium on the topic, the role of Christianity and morality in education. This will be followed by a symposium from Deborah Scheiser.
Respected guests of honor and dignitaries and everyone present here. Today I'm going to sympathize on the topic, the vital role of Christianity and morality in 21st century education. We are living in an age where technology is advancing faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence can solve complex problems. Smartphones connect us with the entire world, and information is available with just one click. But despite all this progress, our society continues to struggle with dishonesty, corruption, bullying, cybercrime, violence, and a lack of compassion. This raises an important question. If education is making us smarter, why are these problems still increasing? The answer is simple. Education develops the mind, but Christianity and morality develops the heart. Knowledge alone is not enough. A person may be highly educated, but without moral values, that knowledge can be misused. A brilliant scientist can create a life-saving medicine, but the same intelligence can also create harmful weapons. A skilled business person can create a successful company, but without honesty, that success may be built on corruption. This is why Christianity and morality are not separate from education. They are the foundation that give education its true purpose. Christianity teaches us to love our neighbors, forgive those who hurt us, speak the truth, respect every person, and serve others with humility. Morality teaches us to choose what is right, even when no one is watching. When these values become parts of education, students do not simply become intelligent, they become responsible. They do not learn how to make a living, they learn how to make a difference. In the 21st century, success is no longer measured by grades, degrees, or professional achievements. True success is measured by the kind of person we become. The world does not only need intelligent engineers, it needs honest engineers. It does not only need skilled doctors, it needs compassionate doctors. It does not only need powerful leaders, it needs leaders with integrity. This is where Christianity and morality transform education from a tool for success into a path towards service and humanity. The Bible reminds us in Micah 6:8, act justly, love, mercy, and walk humbly with your God. These words remind us that education should not only fill our mind with knowledge, but also shape our heart with justice, kindness, and humility. So, what is the relationship between Christianity, morality, and education? Education gives us knowledge, Christianity gives us purpose, and morality gives us direction. Together, they shape a person who is not only capable of achieving success, but also committed to doing what is right. As we prepare for the future, let us remember that the greatest danger is not having powerful technologies in the hand of good people, but having powerful technologies in the hand of people without value. In conclusion, the true goal of 21st century is not simply to produce successful professionals, but to develop men and women of faith, integrity, compassion, and responsibility. When education is guided by Christianity and morality, knowledge becomes wisdom, success becomes service, and individuals become instruments of hope and positive change. Let us build not only educated minds, but also transform heart, because the future of our world depends not only on what we know, but on who we choose to become. Thank you.
That was a symposium from the intermediate category. We will now have another symposium from the topic, The Fabric of Unity, exploring the importance of coexistence with different identities in a fractured Manipur, from Deborah Shaiza.
Greetings, Honorable Chief Guests, Guests of Honor, distinguished guests, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I'm Deborah Shaiza, Class 12 Arts, and today I will be speaking on the fabric of unity, exploring the importance of coexisting with different identities in a fractured Manipur. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today and share a message that is not only worth listening, but also worth remembering. A single thread may be delicate, but when countless of threads are woven together with patience and love, they become a fabric strong enough to withstand any storm. That fabric is Manipur. Our land is not merely a place on a map. It is a living tapestry woven with countless stories, cultures, languages, and dreams. Every community is a unique thread carrying its own beauty, color, and history. Alone, each thread is beautiful, but together they create a masterpiece. Yet today, that beautiful fabric bears painful tears when suspicion replaces trust and hatred replaces understanding. The colors that once complemented one another begin to fade. A fractured Manipur is not the sorrow of just one person. It is the silent cry of every mother, every child, and every heart longing for peace. The Meiteis of the valley, the Nagas of the hill, and the Kukis across our cherished homeland are not separate pieces of this land. They are different threads of the same fabric, different notes of the same song, and different stars shining in the same Manipuri sky. Coexisting does not mean losing our identity. It means protecting our uniqueness while embracing our shared humanity. Just as a rainbow needs every color to paint the heavens, so does Manipur need every community to complete its beauty. Diversity is not the crack that breaks us apart. It is the light that makes us shine. There is an old truth that echoes across generations, that love grows where hatred ends, and peace begins where understanding starts. Christianity beautifully reminds us through the words of Jesus Christ to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love does not ask whether someone is Meitei, Kuki, or Naga before offering a helping hand. It simply reaches out, heals wounds, restores hope, and builds bridges over walls that once stood. The future of Manipur will never be written by anger, but by compassion. Never by revenge, but by forgiveness. Never by hatred, but by unity. Never by division. So as the youth of today, we hold the needle and thread of tomorrow. The words we speak can divide or they can unite. The choices we make today can deepen old wounds, or they can sow seeds of lasting peace. So let us all remember this, that a thread alone cannot make a cloth. A single color cannot paint a rainbow, and a single note cannot create a melody. Likewise, no single community can tell the entire story of Manipur. It is only when the Meitei, the Naga, the Kuki, and every other community works hand in hand that the true beauty of our homeland comes alive. Let us choose coexistence over conflict, hope over hatred, and unity over division. Let us weave a future where our different identities is not the reason we fall apart, but the very reason why we stand together. Because when every thread is valued, the fabric becomes unbreakable, and And when every heart unites, Manipur becomes whole once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah, for such a powerful symposium. May Manipur prevail in peace by a voice today. Our next presentation is a choreography that beautifully expresses creativity, rhythm, and emotion this literary meet.
I believe that we are not good social workers. We may be doing social work in the eyes of the people, but we are really contemplatives in the heart of the world. For we are touching the body of Christ 24 hours. We have 24 hours in His presence, and so you and I, you too try to bring the presence of God in your family. For a family that prays together and stays together. And I think that we in our family don't need bombs and guns to destroy, to bring peace. Just get together, love one another, bring that peace, that joy, that strength of presence of each other in the home. And we will be able to overcome all the evil that is in the world. There is so much suffering, so much hatred, so much misery. And we, with our prayer, with our sacrifice, are beginning at home. Love begins at home, and it is not how much we do, but how much love we put in the action that we do. It is to God Almighty. How much we do, it does not matter, because He is infinite. But how much love we put in that action, how much we do to Him in the person that we are serving.
We have now come to the address of our guest of honor, Dr. Arambam Noli. So may I invite you to the stage. Dr. Arambam Noli is an associate professor in the Department of Political Science at DM University, Manipur. He is specialized in political theory and regional studies. He is widely recognized for his contributions to research in higher education and was recently appointed Honorary Fellow at the Center of Multi-Level Federalism Institute of Social Sciences, New Delhi. We are truly honored to have him with us today.
Thank you, Lee Home Academy, and I'm really blessed to be with everyone here, particularly our chief guest, Sri Armstrong Barman, IS, and Commissioner, Ministry of Minority Affairs, SC and OBC, Government of Manipur. And I also feel so glad to be with Brother Chance again and his family and the students, and also with all the distinguished guests and invitees. I think my job has been made very easy by the students already who spoke on so many issues and presented their ideas and talents. I was very much struck by one presentation just before me by Ms. Sajan, who was kind of trying to give an idea that diversity is not a weakness but a strength. With this idea in my mind, I think the students who are here have been very fortunate to be under the guidance of our former colleague, Professor Chance. If we talk about the name of the institution itself, I can see very clearly the philosophy behind the idea of education that is being imparted over here, particularly I was just looking at the three words that makes this institution, that's Needy Home Academy. Of course, this space is for the needy people of the state, of the region. And it is a home, not only a school, not only a space for learning, but also a home, because you feel at home here. And it is an academy because there are a different alternative way of learning things. So in other words, I think these institution, which is led by Brother Chance, is a very, very unique model. And for your information, I would also like to share with you that I have done some study on this particular experience, particularly in terms of conflict that we have had since May 23, right? Now, 2023, we have had this situation of conflict, and I was so surprised and happy to see that this school was the only space where the communities could actually live together, even in the times of that conflict. And it actually took me to understand, and I felt that it was necessary for the humanity, for the communities living in the state to know the particular experiences of the students living together in times of a heightened conflict. And Needy Home Academy was one such example, and the principal had already talked about it. And I also want to inform you that the experience of Neely Home Academy has been recorded. We have interviewed the students in the campus, and fortunately on May 24th and 25th I presented the experience of Neely Home Academy in New York when I was attending this second Global Summit of Indigenous People Leaders this year. So I think this institution has a lot to offer in addition to the traditional idea of education that we have had. And my dear students who are very young here, I can see the energy, I can see the resilience, I can see the hope that you have. And moreover, I was very impressed by the presentations made so far. And moreover, before these days also, I have been here very regularly. I was part of this East Day initiative which was held, I think, last year. And I feel that Mapao Zengtong, through Neely Home Academy, has a vision. It is not only a center for learning, it is also a center for de-learning a lot of things which we actually don't require in our life. My dear friends, I just want to underscore one important point for you today. Education, of course, we have been informed and told on and off that it is a process of learning. But at the same time, I want to add on one more important point, that is, education is also about de-learning. Right? De-learning of what? Hatred. You have to de-learn hatred. You have to learn loving each other. You have to, be hopeful. You don't have to be always pessimistic about your society, your world, your worldviews. If you see all these things, I think we have to move far beyond the conventional design of education, where we thought that it is all about getting good degrees and good marks. Not really so. So in that sense, I think we have a responsibility in this age of difficult times. We have to have a process of learning. And I think in our own world, we are also learning some of the things which is actually harming us. Like, for example, all of us are beginning to consume a lot of things which we actually don't require. We are beginning to eat a lot of things which is just not good for our health. We are beginning to use so much of phones, so much of mobile phones, social media networks, and we are actually harming our own self. We are talking too much about hatred. We are not loving our own community members. We are not loving our neighbors. We are not loving our co-fellows in the communities that coexist. Now, I think these are some of the basic things we need to fall back on and improve our life. And it is for sure that we are the responsible entity to improve our own lives, not to be expected from the other world, right? So I think the idea, the theme that you have today in the literary function that is 23rd in number, I think it has a message that education is all about morality. The humanity suffers from the crisis of morality. The religious people are becoming irreligious in the way they are doing a lot of things. I often feel, even if you're religious, you tend to see a lot of violence in the society who claim themselves to be religious. In the society that you see today, there are a lot of crimes committed. There are a lot of drug addiction. There are a lot of criminal activities performed in the society. And you can see a lot of corruption in the society. But ultimately I find that these people also go to temples and churches and masjids. Now, what is the fundamental problem? The fundamental problem is that religious values have not really entered into the minds and process of our own society. Therefore, I think we need to review our state of thinking. That is where morality comes in. And morality is not merely a wish. It should be something that we have to make happen on the reality, on the ground. So young students will have to have a lot of de-learning processes at the same time and also learning processes at the same time. I think our teachers who are here today will have to also think about reviewing our own process of teaching our students. And I can see the resilience, I can see the alertness among the students of this particular institution, which is very rare in the country or in the state where we are increasingly witnessing conflicts and hatred. I'm very much surprised by the fact that children are beginning to be partitioned in the name of community and ethnic identity. And I think the whole idea of morality in education through religious values like Christianity would be something to rise above the ethnic identities that we hold on so tightly that makes us, hate each other. Now, our needy home academy should come to that point where we detoxify ourselves and de-learn some of those things which are actually hampering our lives. As you rightly pointed out, students, and I have seen before as well, from when I had participated in a lot of other activities of Needy Home Academy, and consistently I have been seeing the philosophy behind this institution that it talks about coexistence, which is a very, very rare vocabulary in the state today. And when people are talking about peace, for example, people are hesitant to kind of appropriate it. People are hesitant to, kind of own it, which is also a crisis of our society. For example, if you talk about peace, if you talk about coexistence, you are being kind of targeted within your community. Now it looks like the radical elements, it looks like undemocratic elements, it looks like the immoral elements in the society is trying to take over our social organism. I use the word social organism, it is because we all the communities are connected. We are not isolated groups, we are interconnected. Therefore, we have to begin to think as a social organism. That is how humanity can progress. That is how our society can progress. If you think that people from New Delhi will come and give you a good life, I think we are highly mistaken. And that is the mindset that the students of this society, our society, will have to begin to reimagine their future. I'm of the view that our learning system has to be something like what we're witnessing here. If you look at the campus and also around the campus, you can see the bunkers, being constructed over here. It is very intriguing. It is very challenging for us to kind of imagine an education center where the bunkers are being constructed, but at the same time you'll be able to sail through these difficult times. And that was possible because you have an idea, you have a philosophy of coexistence. And that is what people are respecting. Now therefore, my friends, I would like to repeat by saying that the idea of de-learning has to become very prominent if we really want to recover our lost space of morality. Morality is what we are actually lacking today. You see the roads that we have, the quality of the roads. You see the quality of the administration that we have today in our state, the way we have experienced our fundamental rights. In education or in school textbooks, we have been told that there are fundamental rights which are supposedly not to be, suspended even in the times of emergency. But I think for about 3.5 years' time, we are witnessing the suspension of these fundamental basic rights even in supposedly normal times. So therefore, in some sense, our students and ourselves, we all are living in a difficult time, which is perhaps very rare, at least in the case of this country, if not the world. Now, therefore, students, as a young person, as a learner, you have to begin to imagine your future in such a way that you become critical enough to understand. And therefore, your education, your schooling, your classroom teachings are not only for learning what we have been taught all the time. It is also about exploring new ways of thinking. Imagine if the scientists, if the discoverers did not think in the way they thought, probably we would have never reached this state of life. And therefore, today, our generation, your generation, will have to venture out from the boxes of the tradition and explore more through our critical way of thinking. Finally, I think we need to talk about morality in a larger sense so that we can begin to love each other, because I think hatred is something that is so much in the air today, and we need to really clean this, this problem. Finally, I want to end by saying that the conventional model of banking education, which is like getting things mucked up, getting only prepared for the exams, getting only prepared for good marks, is not really helping to make this world better. If you talk about climate change, if you talk about flood, if you talk about deforestation, if you talk about poppy plantation, or if you talk about our basic governance, I think we are all in a serious crisis, even if we say that we live in the 21st century. It doesn't matter if the world is going to the Mars. It doesn't matter for us if the world is advancing towards AI and different other forms of production. We are lagging far behind. We are struggling for survival. And therefore, you all students must be aware of these realities so that you can prepare for your future. Finally, it should be also informed to all of you that our state particularly, and the Northeastern state particularly, young students who are in the schools or in the colleges are found to be using drugs. And there is a new economy which is coming up in this region that we call borderland or frontier. So school students using drugs or getting addicted to drugs is also one of the very, very serious questions that your generation is going to face. With these words in my mind, I think we need to go beyond the banking education system where we are simply learning what has been told to believe. We have to recover ourselves through new forms of learning, and therefore I request all the esteemed teachers who are respected faculty members of this institution to explore more in terms of finding alternative ways of learning and ensuring that the students from different colors, different social background live happily and dream together. And I think Other Chance has done a very, very fantastic job in this regard. I think all students sitting here are in the same hands. Thank you very much.
Shelter around.
come to the address of our chief guest, Sri Armstrong Pamay, IAS, Commissioner Minority Affairs, SC and OBC, Government of Manipur. Sir, may I invite you to the stage. Sri Armstrong Pamay, IAS, is a distinguished civil servant from Manipur, renowned for his exemplary leadership and commitment to public service. Widely known as the Miracle Man, his dedication to improving the lives of people in remote areas has made him an inspiring role model for young people across the country. Today, we are privileged to have him with us as our esteemed chief guest.
Good afternoon. Feels very good to be back here in Brother Chan's place. The last time I believe I was here on the formal occasion was somewhere in 2017 or 18. I was here for one of the events, and today coming back here after close to 7 or 8 years, very good to see a lot of changes. Thank you, Brother Chan, for inviting me and my family to be a part of this. And also thank you for postponing your event just to have me. I thought I may not be able to make it because of the other engagement. I came back after 2 days of events at Northeast Police Academy in Shillong. And then also on my way back home, I had the privilege of inaugurating the new batches of students at the Royal Global University at Guwahati. So it's always been a privilege to be with young people, to throw them some challenges and share opportunities and learnings from my life. So touched to see some of your students who just had shown what they have been taught here in the school. I remember the quote of Mother Teresa when she was asked by the famous journalist of BBC, Mr. Malcolm, who was an atheist. How could you pick up children, and old people suffering from leprosy? Isn't it not dirty for you? Isn't it disgusting for you? Mother Teresa says, I see Jesus in their eyes. He was again asked, why do you do this? Are you doing this because you are a Christian? Are you doing this because your religion asks you to do this? She says, if you always try to find reason not to love them, if you always try to judge them, you will have no time to love them. If you always try to find a judgment on why I should do, why I should not be taking care of this person or that person, if you always end up judging, you will have no time to love them. I think Brother Chams and your wife and the entire family, when you chose to start this mission, I think you did not think of taking care of the children, be it from the you did not have the consideration that you will take care of children from Nagas community, or the Cookies, or the Maites, or any other community. I think you truly embrace that in this short span of life that God blessed us with. So, big congratulations to you and Auntie and the entire family for imparting the teaching of Jesus Christ that reflected through the exemplary life of Mother Teresa and others. You are truly living what others have, what God's influential people have done. And I thank you so much for doing this great service to our society. Shall we all give them a big round of applause? I draw a big inspiration from my 4 kids who are growing up, especially the first 2 boys, and my little girl now. They want to do well, starting from now on. When we first came back from Delhi, in the month of May, we went for a haircut. My younger son started crying because his elder one said that you do not look handsome. His hair was cut too short. After he reached home, he was so angry, he started throwing tantrums. So last Saturday, when I went back to the same salon, he refused to have a haircut. Whenever my daughter is already dressed up and one of the boys will come and say, "You are not beautiful," she will start crying. What does this mean? Even the children who are barely 4 or 5 years old wants to look good in the eyes of the world today. As many of us, especially today, whoever are here as a student, you want to do well in life. You want to be presentable. You want to tell the society that, yes, I want to look handsome, I want to look beautiful, I want to look presentable. I want to be someone respectable in the society. I want to be someone whom the society will say, "Wow, Mr. X, Mr. Y, you are doing well in life." Especially to those children who are class 8 and above. Any one of you who wants to be a failure in life, can I see your hand? If you want to be a real failure, all of you, I know, wants to do well in life. Today, the one speaking to you, in front of you, here, look at me. I started my life from a very small village. My village saw electricity and road for the first time in 2012. Till the first 6 years of my life, we never went to any school. Till we were in class 10, we used to walk to our villages on foot whenever we have summer vacation, winter vacation, and other holidays. We used to walk on foot. Today, 99% of the children who are present here, I can assure you, and I am very certain that all of you must have come here to this school on vehicle. Correct? I am also quite sure that most of your villages and your home has electricity. I remember a time when we were studying under kerosene lamp. Kerosene, I am from a poor family, so we did not have money to buy that lantern. So we used to make what? We used to take old clothes, put it in a bottle where you have kerosene, and then you burn that bottle together with that clothes, and that's how we used to study. It smells so bad, the smell of kerosene. If a village boy like me today can stand before you and tell every one of you to do well, because God has blessed me so much to become what I am today, I challenge each one of you that you should be able to do well in life. You can do better than me. How many of you think you can do better than me? All of you? You should aim at that. Okay? Second thing, to all of you, I have been informed that there are some college students also. Are there some college students? Can I see a raise of hand, college students? Not many, but few? Yes. So for those of you who are in college, I was in Mussoorie doing my phase 4 from 15th of June till 10th of July. During my training, I decided to take out some of the cargo mates from Manipur, Nagaland, and Sikkim for a dinner. Amongst one of the officer, that means an IS officer of 2024 batch, there was this one girl. Her name is Caroline. She studied all her life from Churachandpur. Okay? She did her class 11, 12 from Churachandpur, graduation from one local college called Rayban College. I think it was her second or third attempt that she wrote the civil service. And today she is an IS officer. So to you all who are studying here in this college, do not feel that you are less than anybody because your parents did not have the capacity to send you to Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai or other places. I was very impressed that she has been able to crack this exam. See, I've studied from St. Stephen's College. I've done physics honors. So people may say that, oh, that's why it is easier for you to make it to the IELTS. Okay, they may say that. After meeting Caroline, I am so humbled that wow, even if you did not study in some of the finest colleges across India, you are still able to make it. Very smart girl. After spending about 1-2 hours with them, I realized that the hard work that you put in far surpasses any other facilities that you may be given in life. So to all of you who are here studying in this college, I urge all of you to do very well in your studies. And for the boys and girls who are in class 8 to 12, let me be specific. Today the world is changing so fast. I've just come back from Delhi. For 4 years and about 2-3 months, I was in Delhi since 2022 March. I've been out of Manipur. My last posting was Joint Secretary Higher Education in the Ministry of Education. With this position, I have gotten to travel across the globe. I've been given an opportunity to represent India, be it the G20 summit, BRICS, you name it. I've been able to see those places. Along with this, I've got to interact with the vice chancellors, provosts of some of the top universities of the globe. From Princeton to Harvard to Stanford to Cambridge to Imperial to you name it. And not only that, I have been given the privilege to travel all across India and see some of the finest colleges, institute of higher education, be it government or the private sectors. Where is the world heading to now? The world is heading to a very, very different trajectory right now. Very less people are studying right now in college to become an IAS officer. Very less people are studying to become a government engineer. Today, if you go to IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, many of them wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to start things on their own. I met Mr. Srikanth, yes, who invented this, the cryogenic engine for rocket launching. Okay? He did his engineering from one of the good colleges, government college in Chennai, Anna University. He went to do his master in electronics from US. After his studies, he started working for about 1 or 2 years. But then his interest was on rockets. Though he never studied about rockets, his interest was there on rocket making. So he came back 3 years, 4 years ago, and then he started his company. Last year, May, he successfully launched a rocket, made of one single piece cryogenic engine. I visited his facilities. I was fascinated. He's still younger than me. He's barely 38, 39. His company just raised about 500 crore Indian rupees. And he's on the way of raising another $200 million for expansion of his companies. You have people like them. I was in Symbiosis, Pune. I saw how the students who are interested, who are interested to become automobiles engineers. I see them handling those machines costing several crores. And many of them, I usually visit those colleges on Saturdays and Sundays. Whether it is Saturday, Sunday, they are so engrossed, so interested in their work that you will see them sitting there late Saturday evening. Many of them, I also happened to visit IIT Chennai, their research lab facilities, the industrial hub within IIT Chennai. They are making artificial diamonds. And I see a lot of young boys and girls fully dedicated to do this type of works. And I also meet people who are into semiconductors, assembling semiconductors, manufacturing, all these new fields. And I was also told by a director of education from Taiwan Embassy based in Delhi that, sir, you give these students from some of these institutes, we will send them to Taiwan. Many of them had gone. You know what? Their monthly salary barely comes. Okay, according to them, they say monthly salary may be close to 2 lakh Indian rupees. But every 6 months, they get a bonus of about 10 lakhs. Not bad, right? Sometimes at the quarter closing of the year, they sometimes end up getting Indian rupees 20 lakhs. Imagine if you get to work there for about 10-20 years. When you come back to India, you will be a crorepati. What I mean to say is this: young children, there are so many job opportunities opening up for all of you today. To be able to grasp all of this opportunity, you have to work really, really hard. Don't think that by being the first position holder in your school, you are the best. No. See, Armstrong Pame. Okay, the boy standing here. I was the best student when I was giving my class 10 in Tamenglong. Okay? One of the brothers here from Tamenglong will go. I have done very well in school. But you know what? When I went to Shillong, at St. Edmund's College, I sat amongst 100 plus people. I did not understand what the teachers were teaching. Because all other students were better than me. Amongst them, so many Bengali students. But then I said, okay, I've got to work hard. I really studied hard. Then I did very well in my class 11 and 12. I scored 96 in maths, 95 in physics, 93 in chemistry. I thought, I have beaten all these Bengali boys, you know. I thought, I've done very well. Then when I went to Delhi, my class physics had 40 students. When the teacher started teaching, seriously, I do not understand anything. Okay? So, for first 3 months, whenever the teacher starts writing an equation on the board, because I used to score 0 in class test, one of the very old professor, he likes me. Okay? So, even if I cannot solve all this problem, out of 10, he used to give me 2 marks. He said, you have a good handwriting. Handwriting doesn't count actually in physics and maths as long as your solution is wrong. I should have been given 0, but so this professor, Taracha, he used to give me 2. Okay, sometimes 3 out of 10. Not because my solution is correct. So one of the teacher, Dr. Vikram Fukan, I remember his name very clearly. In fact, I was just sharing his story at Royal Global University also. So, when he wrote down an equation, there was a point of time when he was so frustrated because he knows that I will not understand. So he wrote down the equation on the board and said, every one of you in the class except Armstrong understands or not. I will deal with Armstrong separately. You know? So, for about 3 months, after dinner, I would go and have coffee in his room. He used to teach me separately. I was also one of the worst. But after 6 months, we started our session in July. After December came January, I started saying, Ari Armstrong, you cannot keep complaining like this. You have to start opening up, start working harder and smarter. God's grace, I had one very good, my day friend, who was a topper in our class 10 batch. He was very good, no doubt. I mean, we were the best of friends. Started asking from him, started asking from others. You know, whenever I do not understand. That's how I was able to overcome. Work extra hard. And then I pass out with physics honors. Very well, with distinction marks again at Delhi University. What I want to tell all of you, especially those of you who are in class 10 or class 12, you may think that you are a topper already, but you may be a topper only for your school. So do not put a limit to your standard. Just because you are the best students here, don't stop studying. I want you to work extra hard. And do not focus only on what the teacher teaches you. I don't know if your school follows this. In our time, it is very, very, teachers will give something called important questions for exams. Any of the teachers does that or not? I'm sure you must be doing it. After you give all the question answers, write them down, everything on the board, when exam time comes, 1 week, 2 weeks before the exams, teacher will give, these are the important questions, be prepared for exams. Okay? You are teaching, I mean to say that means to say that you are not very confident if the students have learned everything about that lessons. You are further segregating again. And you know what? Many of the students would like to go for tuitions again. I hope situation has changed, but in my time, students would still go for tuition again, not because the teachers would teach them better, but because they will get those important questions for exams. It used to be so common in my time. The root learning systems somehow has to stop. That has been the vision of the new education policy when we were in the ministry. How do we give the ideas of the entirety of the chapter to the students? Just simply telling, if Sita is the wife of Ram, and when you write down in the question, who is Ram's wife? The teacher will write down that Ram's wife is Sita. And some of the teachers, when exam time comes, if some students write, Sita is Ram's wife, answer is wrong. Because when you were teaching them, you had written that Ram's wife name is Sita. You expect the students to write exactly this sentence. I'm just giving you the simplest example. Apply this for mathematics and apply this for science. It will be, you will start questioning, am I one of the teachers who is still doing that? There are so many different ways to arrive at a mathematical solution. You know, we almost always in our school days had Maitei teachers for math and science, because we did not have anyone from our community, so to say, very good enough to teach math and science. I remember we used to have this teacher called Doren. Exact, very good handwriting, right dot, you know. Even comma we used to copy, you know. Whatever he writes, exactly we have to learn the steps. But math and science, you have 1,000 other ways to derive a solution. So my request to the teachers of today's generation is allow the teachers, give the students freedom to arrive at the solution as long as you have given them the context, the boundary of this chapter and then lesson. I used to tell my friends, you know, especially the younger generations, whoever was preparing for UPSC, if you have read this chapter, when you close your eyes, can you see all the letters and all the sentences and paragraph right on your forehead? If you have studied the Indian Constitution from Article 1 to 395, once you close your eyes, are you able to decipher? You know, Article 1 is this, Article 2 is this, Article 14 is this. Are you able to imagine this? Unless you do that, you will not be able to maneuver around when questions are difficult. UPSC, I'm sure some of the teachers might have seen or written UPSC also. You know, most of the competitive exams today are not interested in asking straight away questions. They are asking you in such a way if you are able to maneuver. Simplest way of asking, let me just take 4 rivers in Manipur. Imphal River, okay, Bakru River, Ziri River and Barak River. You know, if it is a UPSC question, they will ask, please arrange the length of the river in descending order. Descending order. The length of the river in descending order. Not very easy, right? These 4 rivers, obviously everybody knows that these are rivers of Manipur. But now when the question is slightly changed, twisted, arranged in descending order or ascending order, you will have to put more efforts to think, okay, Barak River started from where? Starts from where? From Senapati, it ends up where? Chipaymo. Okay, Ziri River and starts from where? You have to start thinking. Imphal River starts from where? So, you will have to be more critical and analytical. I want the teachers to teach the students all these factors of critical factors so that the students will be able to analyze what they know. After every chapter is taught, please ask the students to come up with their own paragraph, to come up with their own reflections of the chapters. The girl who just read a beautiful, I don't remember her full name, Miss Caesar. Deborah Caesar. Challenge. If you do well in your class 12 exam and are looking forward to go to some of the finest colleges in the country, except for colleges in Delhi universities, because they are admitted on the basis of CEUT, I will not be able to help you much. But this is an open offer to Brother Chance and his team. The first boy or girl who scored the highest marks, if they want to study, in some of the finest colleges, starting from Christ University in Bangalore, Mount Carmel in Bangalore, Christu Jayanti, Loyola in Chennai, and others, I'm willing to negotiate for you even up to 50% of the full scholarships for your fees and hostel. But only for one person. If it is too many, it will not be prestigious. So this year, I'm so happy to say that, just like that, there was this one of our guys staying as a tenant. Okay? So, see, our people does not value the position that I was holding in Delhi. Especially my mom. Okay? Because in Delhi, I pay income tax, I do this, do that. So at the end of the month, I always feel short of money. So I don't have money to send her 5,000 or 10,000 bucks a month, which I usually do. Okay? So she used to say, come back to Manipur, come back to Manipur. For her, being a joint secretary in the Ministry of Education doesn't make much sense. She doesn't know that her son is quite in a very good position. And my people also doesn't know much the value. So, after I came back, somewhere in the end of May, before I went for my training. So there was this one tenant from my community staying in in my house. He came up and was having breakfast with me. So I was just there asking him, how are your children doing, this and that, Oh yeah, my son scored 87% from Kendra Vidyalaya, one of the topper in commerce, So where are you sending him next? There is this one college called Christu Jayanti College in a university in Bangalore. Very good college. He really wants to be there, but the fees is 1,88,000 per year. So I'll not be able to send. Okay? So he did not know that I know them also, So I was just thinking, you think he really wants to go there? Yeah, he really wants to go, but now since we can't afford, I'm admitting him in some other college. What is the name of the other college? So the other college did not have NIL ranking within 100. Whereas this Christu Jayanti is ranked 36 in the country. So, he doesn't know what to ask also, right? Because he doesn't know where I was posted. Barely. So, I was just laughing in my heart, Okay, this guy actually is very honest, So, but he was expressing that, so can you tell your son to come up? He said, his son came up. Boy, what do you want to do? No, I want to be in the business. This course called Business Analytics, BBA Business Analytics is very good in this college, but my father cannot send me there. Okay, good. You go back. So I was just completing the breakfast. You know, uncle, if your son really wants to study there, maybe I'll be able to help you. He said, I don't know. I have already paid 10,000 rupees for advanced admission in other colleges. I cannot do anything now. So I said, okay, uncle, just give me a minute. So, I'm pretty well known to this university, so I opened up a photo, and I don't know, maybe by luck or whatever, in December, I brought the vice chancellor and the finance officer of this university to my village. So I showed him this photo. See, uncle, you know who are these people? I said, no. No, I think he is related to Christu Jayanti. No, really? Okay. So after we saw the photo, I called up the vice chancellor. So vice chancellor, I said, Father, here's a boy who wants to come and study your college, but his father is not sure of able to pay the fees, but he can afford at least 50% of the fees. So I'm sending you an email. Sure, please send, but please send an email very soon, because the admission is pretty, for this course, for 120 seats, we get about 3,000 applications. So I kept the call. He said, is it true? You know them or what? You know? Yeah. If you don't believe, let's check out the website. I took out the website. I showed the photograph of the vice chancellor and the person on my phone. You think they look the same? Yeah. He was so surprised. So I sent a simple email, and this boy is now studying at 50% of the cost for his graduation. So if you are smart, if you're willing, people like me, we want to give you a chance. How many of you want to take up this challenge? How many of you can think of topping your board exams? Topping your school? In your class 12? Anyone amongst the class 12 students? Okay, I can see a few hands. So please do well. We're willing to give you an opportunity, not only in this college, but different other colleges, be it engineering. But you have a science stream, 11 and 12? Okay, but also please make sure that you write the JAM exam also, IIT. Yes, you may not be able to crack it at the first go, but you need this exam result to get admission in many of these private institutions. So I would like to encourage the children to do well, and please do not think that because your parents do not have money to support you, your dream is going to suffer. No. Those were the days where people give up because their parents have no resources. Now, even if your parents have no resources, you will have so many other opportunities to excel in your career. So this is a challenge I throw open to all of you, and all the best. Please do well, and let us build our nation together. God bless each one of you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Your personal experiences, your global experiences, your words have inspired us to face life's challenges with courage, determination, and hope. We sincerely appreciate your presence and the invaluable lessons you have shared with us today. Thank you. I now invite Dr. R. Charles Raman, Chairman of the Home Ministry, for the vote of thanks.
We have come to the last moment of today's today's function. I am extremely grateful to God. Whatever we desire will long, of course we are very much persistent that God has fulfilled our desire. We really wanted to have a chief guest, Armstrong. He is a family member. I take him as a family member. He came several times, and 2-3 of his statements went deep into my soul, especially regarding the hard work. And he had so many meetings, but I kept on adjusting his timing. So he said, I'll come. And he had encouraged us and challenged us, especially to the teachers as well as to the students. And there is a direct opening for the higher studies for class 12. And Nini, I was telling her that she had completed a PhD. Congratulations to Dr. Puri, Brother Puri. And so it is, in a way, family get together. And I was in DAM College, universities. Of all the teachers, Udan Noni has been very close to me. He is a TV talker, and I hardly call people here, you all know. I'm very selective because we have to fit them, the real stuff. So Udan Noni had been a real encouragement to so many young people. And we have, whenever the chief guest or guest order comes, they never go away from us. They always continue to be a help to this school and college. And Ma'am Vijay Lakshmi, I think this is the second or third time she is with us. And she connects with so many countries. And I think quite a lot of countries. So one of the connections that she had with various schools and nationalities, Needy Home Academy is one. I think she's exposed to the international and also through her. And we are so grateful that she is with us. I will not be addressing to all our friends, but dear Padme, the kingmaker, I call it kingmaker. Okay. So he is a good friend of mine. God has given me burden to connect with politicians, with so many, yes, CSO, and our school have connected with so many, and he is one who is very much trustworthy. And our teachers, and all of them have done very well. They just had 5 days to practice. They always complain that I give very short time. But when we give too much time, there is demerit. But we did 5 days. That was the last 2 periods. I was very much impressed that they could really do such an excellent performances. So we are very grateful to all the teachers and the students. I'll say a few words. It will not be a word of thanks, but it will be just from the heart. It was in 2004, God called us, me and my wife. The calling of God is very peculiar. And it was in a village, Mapau too. We started a school. It was in a cow shed like usually schools. And by the grace of God, we could really see the hands of God. And many homes in Manipur, if I give the figure, it may be very controversial, but safely 80% of the families are broken. In the safest way, it can be much higher than that. That's why we call it Needy Home Academy. And by God's grace, we don't really take our children lightly, heart and soul. Okay, both of us earn some few lakhs by God's grace. We gave everything and many times it was not sufficient. Until today, we have not really stretched out our hands to any agency. We want to dirty our hands so that the teachers also know the values and sacrifice, and the students also know the values. Most of the parents, because of this Iran, it is a very pathetic condition. I don't know exactly, but 30 to 40% of the students out of 700 are not properly able to meet their monthly payment. For in such a way, we give them so much of encouragement that, as our chief guest has said, it is not the parents' resources, but if you have a willing heart, then God is there, avenues are there, and many of them have come up in life. And today, exhortation, encouragement is so pertinent to a mission, to a school. So, the motto of our school is that, for with God, nothing shall be possible. But we have to do our best. And it's really alarming, frightening the way that our Sir Armstrong was telling about St. Stephen. Okay, there's a little bit threatening for a school. But deep down in my heart, I take the challenge, we take the challenge. We'll try to do our best. So, we'll try to do our best. So now, what I want to challenge to all the students in front of a chief guest and guests of honors, the vision, the burden that God has given to us, we will try to fulfill it. Ours is not only educational. By the way, for information, we taught in both metric and 12 in our district. Yes, slowly it's coming up. Yes, our is a self-centered because they trust the us that we don't copy, so they have given us self-centered also. That way, slowly, they are trying to acknowledge the little effort that we are putting for these children. So here, last of all, what I want to really appeal to our chief guests and guests of honor, and especially invitees. This is the project that we have built for a state, for all of us. And we want all of us to join hands in whichever way. As long as we breathe, we will not take for profit. As long as we breathe, we are not going to do for any profit. It is looking at the children, looking at the broken homes and the no income. Just too much. So we want all of us to pull together and do something for our society. We hope that our school will impact the state, Northeast, all over the country, in whichever way, you don't know. Whatever we dream, God has been fulfilling. So this, to make this dream possible, we request all the special invitees and the chief guests and guests of honor that this is your project and you all have to join hands in whichever way that you want us all to pull together. We request you for that. We have never stretched out a hand to anyone till today, but by God's grace, so many unseen God's agents have come and pull us together. We will say this motto and we'll close it, okay? And then, for with God, nothing shall be impossible. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Yes, we have to do all the possible. But for with God, nothing shall be impossible. That's a motto. And the next shout that we always instill to the heart of the children is that first, second, last. What we do is to glorify God, never to touch the glory of God, and to serve our people. And last of all, we have to be disciplined. We should not let people gainsay about us that, oh, Modi my Torah, lecture Torah. For that only, I want to say this one and close it. Why I put Christianity? Purposefully. Unfortunately, the faith that we cherish so much, the 40 persons of Manipur, we are disgracing God. We are not being very particular for one religion, that religion. Of course, we believe in Christ and Christ alone, but the children of God begin to doubt about Bible, doubts about Christ. But we say it is the fear of the people, and Christ don't fail. Bible does not fail. And by God's grace, before God, before the Bible, fail them. So that's why we put this particular faith, Christianity and morality and education. Thank you so much. Continue to support us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anthony Chairman, Review Academy. We have now come to the end of the program, and I'd like to invite Sri Livingston Zimik, Secretary Village Party, retired DSP Manipur Police, for the closing prayer.
Let us pray. 타격적인 प्रभु 나에게 무시고 토자하며 이라는 빅털어봐 인감을 있더라봐 와칸 내나다라 힘방금들어봐 머니푸르시다 마팡마시다 이디 홈메가드니 하이나 나는 탐비구나 안간게야니시다 꿀러가 부디럽시 부자신게야나 딱비구나 Sumaya inta taktana, ako'y nahimbang may. Nung may makondade, mi ka pa makondade, nakit kong dyan. Professor, nasi sumaya na, school sige, literally mito official. Ang diana, student diana, may talent, may performance, may confidence level yung loy na. Ako'y satakre, kagacharni, nahanang siya tawjalani. Tapi tampili ba oja mayam, school ki authority mayam masu, nahanang siya tawjal na matam na iba kibik ka, loy na diwa na hajamni. Lakatari ba namin chinda, ingkabatak tabashe, producer, continue to view. Nasi nahaki, nanay, Provision hang report big rubber. Buddhi no see big rubber. Guest of honor, Jeff Guest. Provision tapi hibawai pun namak tabla. Angam sinda. Booking thokat pa. Encouragement wahanyu mukai wakanda. Honalimba tamjanimba. Hangandiyo. Ano ka provision mukai konsira. Nahaki itholay pa. Hena chau khatpa thabak tawbo namingai nage achumba budhilo sindra mukhai butakiyo akhoi pumnamakti ibai so nahang tawbang amdabalike haina khoi thajadna nawanda chanjami ngasige akhoi gi program pumnamaksi loisan dibi mak thagat jabani boso school asibu hena nahang production video Naki thab tabul henyu sakram yamusu professor naga napi senyu akhoi laiba punnamaksu hoji isa ji yumda halaksu nahak loina diudo ni meyam ni matam le giyo haina akhoi bakan Yesu Christ ni haicharni amen.